All right, happy Sunday, my loves. Just gonna check the audio before I begin to chat with you all. I have bumped into a very strange video on Twitter, now known as X. Let me just go ahead and check something real quick. Give me a second, you guys. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, you all. Just want to make sure I can hear myself before I begin. You know how YouTube is. Okay, lovely. I can hear myself. All right. So, okay, guys. So I've come across a really scary video. Come to find out, today is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Today is St. Patrick's Day. And like usual, Princess Catherine, formerly known as Kate Middleton to the world, it's St. Patrick's Day, okay? The princess and future queen, pretty much, she's been pregnant. She's, all different, how should I put it, fabrics of life. The princess has been at the St. Patrick's Day parade and celebrations, more notably with Prince William. Now, there's been, since my last video I've done and my last YouTube shorts that I've done covering this, in my opinion, I've really stepped back. I could have done a lot more coverage, but I really wanted to respect the princess's wishes. It's only when I find something very strange or something very odd is the reason why I share my opinion, guys. So for anybody who is wondering if I'm there's a new hashtag. There's actually a new hashtag that says "I stand with Catherine," trending on St. Patrick's Day, and a beautiful Sunday, by the way. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a lovely weekend. Once I get off here with you guys live, I'm gonna, and for my replay viewers, I'm gonna be mopping the floor and getting some cinnamon going, and I was able to go grocery shopping quite early. So it's been a beautiful Sunday over here, and wherever you are across the pond, I hope it's been great for you. And thank you for joining, by the way. And if you're subscribed, thank you so much as well. Thumbsing up. Thank you so much, guys. So, I appreciate it. I really do. So for those who are just tuning in or haven't seen a video of mine or are new, don't worry. Okay. I support Catherine. I'm not a hater of Catherine. I know there's a lot of haters out here, especially since it's been reported she's been sick and ill. There's been a lot of scoundrels and gals and zombies and nasty people who have come out of the woodworks to basically laugh at her, make fun of her, and I'm not one of them, okay? So if you're just tuning in and you're like, I wonder if she hates Meghan, or I wonder if she hates Catherine, or is she a negative person about Catherine, I am not. I've always been in support of William and Catherine's marriage. I've always been very pleased and happy with Catherine as a princess, as a representation for the Commonwealth, and more so Great Britain and the United Kingdom. So no, if you're new and you're tuning in, no, I am not one of those people who are laughing at her and making up jokes and memes and all this. I'm not one of those people, okay? Just want to put that out here. If you've never seen a video of mine, just want to put that out here, okay? With that said, right, come to find out, like I said, today is St. Patrick's Day. Now, there's been, a conflict, okay? How can I put this lightly? I'm going to play a video for you guys in a minute. So if you are tuning in live, I just saw a video, and there's a royal commentator, journalist, writer, published author, that I've come across, and I've seen her over the years report royal news, and in a very disturbing way, I've come across a video from one of those so-called royal commentators who it seems to be, I don't know if it's just me or, I mean, everybody in the Twitter thread thinks that she's alluding that the princess is mentally ill. And I've not come across any video that seems that it's screaming that Catherine is mentally ill. So this is the reason why I'm on here, guys, because there's been, you know, from the coma to BBL to cosmetic surgery to you know, divorce rumors, affair, you know, it's been really, really negative. And I just want to put this out here. You know, this is just my update and how I feel after watching that. I'm going to actually show it to you guys in a minute once I finish my intro as to why I'm making this video. So you don't, you know, kind of question, well, what is she going on about? Well, what I'm going on about is I've not come across this video. And everybody is kind of agreeing that it sounds like she is alluding that Catherine is mentally ill. Now, first, it was about this abdominal surgery and recovery and all this and all that. And there's been countless people, not just British journalists, which I think we should focus more on. You know, there's Australian news, there's American news, but because the princess is British, more so English, as I am myself, I think that we should focus on what the British are saying, right? Not the Spanish, not the American, not the Australian. Me personally, I'm not into all the gossip. I'm more into what is the palace saying, right? What is her schedule looking like? What is the update? You know, now her uncle, now this is, you know, another tailspin. And don't worry, you all. I'm going to be making countless update videos on this because there's been a lot of things I come across that I've not been able to update you guys about with my opinion and my analysis. And now we have Catherine's mother's brother, her uncle, on Big Brother. And he's talking about Meghan and how they need to not have their titles and you know, with this reality show. Now, this is poor timing. Okay, now this is recent. This is kind of tying into this whole video. That was very recent. Is that Catherine's mother's brother, her uncle, is basically being pressured on reality TV to answer, you know, his fellow contestants or reality TV stars questions about his niece, right? About his sister's daughter, family. Now, you know, this is like Meghan Markle's, you know, I mean, what is this? You know, we're used to seeing drama with Meghan Markle's family, but I would never think that now we have, in such poor timing, her uncle is now on this reality show. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know, first we have her sister, Pippa, is on vacation in a bikini, prancing around with her kids and her husband, looking all happy. And then we have her mother's brother on this reality TV, Big Brother. Very poor timing, very, very poor timing. And not to miss out, and don't think I forgot, not to miss out the fact that we had this crazy freaking photo, this god-awful fake Photoshop photo that they're trying to convince us on Twitter, Kensington to be more specific, trying to make us believe that Catherine photoshopped this picture that I'm sure we've all seen that are watching in, especially you live viewers, right? They're trying to convince us that Catherine is an amateur artist or something, or whatever the heck that would be considered as graphic design, a Photoshop. I'm not really quite sure. Trying to have us be convinced that she's the one in her ill state who went on the computer and edited out her ring. Her ring is gone. You know, there's at least 10 different eras to the point where the press pulled back the photo. And that caused a even bigger wormhole where people were saying, well, why would she be photoshopping a picture and her ring is missing and the kids are you know, it's weird, you know. So I'm past the point of being concerned. I'm almost disgusted because, and I hate to bring it up, but obviously here we go again. You know, what happened to Diana? You know, Meghan regardless if we like her or not, right? Meghan coming out saying that I have, you know, these depressive like thoughts and I want to take my own life and all these different things. And it's like, what is really going on? You know, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help that everybody around Catherine is still out and about and doing all this press and all this public stuff, and yet she can't speak for herself. Now, there's also been another very, very popular article, but the news source of that article that I'm not going to show because you have to pay for it. I actually have to pay for it. It's one of those websites where they post the story, but you have to subscribe, you know, to read it, which I ain't gonna do. But basically, I'll give you guys a gist of it because I try to, you know, quickly read it, and then the thing, you know, the browser refreshed and said subscribe, which I'm not gonna pay for an online blog subscription for gossip. Who's gonna do that? You know, that's what TMZ is for, and all the rest, you know. So basically, that was something that the past couple hours, to be frank with you, just dropped, and at the same time as, you know, the St. Patrick's Day update, and then this lady, and I'm like, what the heck? And basically what that article was alluding to was the fact that they were saying that, well, allegedly, that Princess Catherine's friends are telling certain press, what press, I don't know, it could be all hogwash, but allegedly Kate Middleton's friends are saying to certain websites, certain media outlets, that the rift and the falling out between Harry and Meghan has caused what? Intense stress, immense stress. No surprise there. No surprise there. So I'm just like, here we go again, you know. And in the last video that I did, which I'll link for you guys, the last video I did, I told you guys that I felt it was weird, and it is weird, if Meghan, you know, didn't give two F's about her sister-in-law. You know, regardless of what all the bad things she said about her, she should be the first person at her bedside. You see what I'm saying? And she'd be one of the first people calling her up, because it's her fault. It is her fault. She's the one with Scobie and Harry and all the fucking rest. And I want to curse. Excuse me. God forgive me. Sorry, guys. You know, this is a very, very heated topic, because it's like, what the heck is going on? You know, this is getting out of control. But it was Meghan. You know, sorry, it was Meghan. It was Meghan and her little minion, her little pet toy, her little no spine husband, that said to the whole world that his father and his sister-in-law is racist. You know, we're not going to be politically correct or, you know, saying BS on my channel. I'm gonna tell y'all what I really think. And so, seeing that article go viral, and I'm like, bruh, I mean, if that really is Catherine's friends, I mean, they didn't say what friends, you know, it'd be more credible to me. It would be more credible if the article could say what friends and what town and what country. Because if you go say royal insiders, you know, insiders, but who are these insiders? You see what I'm saying? So if you can't say who these people are, or these people are not going to come forward on camera themselves and say, by the way, I'm a best friend of Catherine, the princess, and Meghan stressed her out. Well, then, you know, it's all speculation, guys. It's all speculation. I mean, from the stuff about the affair to the Photoshop picture of her and her kids without William, which is you know, and then just all the BS, you know, first saying that, oh, William took the picture, and then they're saying that, you know, it's messy. And me personally, and I think I can speak for a good amount of people out here in the world, wherever you are in the world, we're not used to seeing Catherine and William's court, so to speak, disorganized. That's what we're used to with Meghan and Harry. Right? We're used to with Meghan and Harry going on late night talk shows, Oprah, you know, the whole 9 yards, splash articles, crazy interviews that make no fucking sense. I mean, that's what Meghan and Harry do. That's not what William and Catherine are supposed to do. And I will say this. Okay, I will say this. I think for the credibility of, you know, the House of Windsor, Kensington Palace, Clarence House, the British royal family, This cannot continue. Okay. It's a bad look. It's cheesy. It's pathetic. And, you know, I will give, like I always do, because I'm very fair with what I say, I will give the princess the benefit of the doubt. If you're trying to tell me that Catherine was, you know, sitting up in a hospital bed or some crack or some kooky crack like that, you know, editing a picture of her kids, well, I don't really know what to say about that. You know, I can't understand if she's so ill and she's in recovery. If she really was to do that, would that not be something that she would do and send to her family or her friends? That's not really something that I think a princess, or I would assume a princess, will be able to do without other people paying attention. You know, this photo was pulled off the market and was labeled fake. It was labeled heavily photoshopped and fake. And so, you know, we're not used to that. I am not used to that. I'm not used to William and Catherine's side being up in flames. That's something that we are used to seeing Meghan and Harry go through, not William and Catherine. So here's the deal. We cannot have, you know, the former Fab Four, you know, all in collapse. We cannot have Meghan, Harry, William, and Catherine in disarray. Okay, regardless of, you know, the king, who has cancer allegedly and has been reported, you know, from the palace. Some people think it's fake. I don't know. You know, there's a lot going on, but it's been reported in an official statement that the king has cancer. So regardless of Charles and Camilla being, you know, basically king and queen, what I'm saying is I don't think it's a good look for William, Catherine, Harry, and Meghan, aka Rachel. That's her real name, is Rachel. People don't know that. To be all over the place. I think it's just gotten out of hand, and I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what the heck is going on. I'm not really understanding why. Once again, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. If that was really Catherine, you know, playing on her computer, I'm not even that visual. I just don't understand that. I don't understand how she would think it's a good idea, or her team, or even William. I don't get that. Now, if they said that they took a picture in the backyard, wherever the hell they were, okay, and then they said that they gave it to somebody else, and then somebody else who was supposed to be professional, you know, wasn't so professional, that I could believe. But you telling me out front, outright, that it's Catherine who edited this picture, and it's Catherine, that don't even make any sense. Because then people could say, well, if she's well and she's playing on the computer or whatever the heck she's doing, then why is she not out working? Why is she not at events? Why is she not at the St. Patrick's Day celebrations, which she's always at? She's always been there. So when I saw that she called out on that as well, I was like, this is not panning out well. You know, it's been way past 2 weeks, guys. It's been way past 2 months. You know, like enough is enough now. And I'm me personally, I'm getting quite tired of the excuses, because all the excuses are given us, from the photo to the surgery. It, to me, is not cutting it. Yes, I want her to rest. Obviously, duh. Yes, I want her to, you know, bounce back strong. You know, I'm not a hater of Catherine at all. I've always loved Catherine. I've always thought she's done a wonderful job. And that's why I want to see her. You know, that's why I want her to speak for herself. And the fact that, you know, from the Meghan debacle to now, it's like, you know, it's so messy, guys. And honestly, I think that a part of the reason why she is stressed and she is going through all these health issues is because she cannot speak for herself. It's like a catch-22. It's like she can't, you know, she can't. So it's like her own duty, her own job, her own situation that she's enthralled in is actually making her sick. And that's what is so dangerously twisted right now to me. It's like, even if that was one of the issues, was the fallout with her brother-in-law and her sister-in-law, it's like she can't even say that, you know? And all we have is these so-called royal insiders, and all we have is these so-called, you know, blogs, but we don't really have anything from her. We don't have any video from her. We don't even have a goddamn note from her. We don't have anything from her. You know, all we have is these other mouthpieces speaking for her. And for me, that's a problem. And so even though I was dramatically and drastically and outrightly unhappy with the Oprah interview, that I thought was highly inappropriate and salacious and nasty in nature, the one thing that I did appreciate amongst all that, and I've stood by it to this day, is the fact that Meghan was able to express herself. You know, she was able to say, I was struggling. I was having bad thoughts, you know, dark, deep, nasty thoughts. And I wanted to leave this world, this planet. And so that was the one thing that I thought was genuine, in terms of, I needed help. I seeked help. I couldn't get it, and I was screwed. You know, I do believe that. Because I could see that with her. I could see it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to play, I have the clip here. So now that I've explained, you know, I could explain more obviously, but now I've explained the gist of, you know, what I've been seeing the past couple of months, past couple of days for my last video. I'm going to show you guys a clip that kind of triggered me to come on here and say, well, let me just go ahead and recap, because, you know, some reports say she'll be back by June, others say April, some say before Easter, others say after Easter. I mean, it's a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? What they need to do is have her in a video. It can't be any clearer than that. She don't have to go out. She don't even have to come out after Easter. I'm being extra nice. She doesn't even have to even go out after Easter if she just did a video explaining what happened to some degree, not everything, just some degree, some kind of, or re-emphasizing the abdominal thing. You know, she could go on camera and say, yes, I had abdominal surgery and this is what they did and blah, 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 blah. I would feel more comfortable. But the problem is, we're getting fake photos, we're getting fake information, we're getting flip-flop dates, and we're getting Meghan and Harry parading around the world, right? That's it. That's the issue. We're getting too much hubba bubba and flip-flop and all this stuff. And so people are concerned. And I think that majority of people are just concerned. They're not trying to get her out of bed rest. They're not trying to push her to work. I'm not, you're not, right? We just want to know what the fuck is going on. And why can't she speak for herself? And if she needs to take a break from, being a senior royal, well, let us know. If she's saying, or you know what? I'll take it a step further, which is probably one of the worst conspiracies, or one of the worst rumors out here, which would be the marriage issues, which, no good, no bueno. But let's push it even farther and say, let's say hypothetically, it's all those issues and it's the marital issues. I think they should say that. I think that maybe not her, somebody, William, maybe they should be honest and say, if that is the case, you know what I'm saying? Say, you know what, we are having a rough time. And she needs to just not be in the limelight right now. She's been working on her, working since she married into this family so hard with all her lovely charities and causes. She just wants to take a break. We're working on our marriage. To me, I know for some people watching, you're like, that sounds too bold. That sounds too forward. But to me, I don't think it is, because guess what? If you just tell the truth and you're just upfront about it, no one has to speculate. But if you don't tell us, or you don't deny what people are saying, then guess what? You're giving more room for people to believe the hype and believe a lie. So just to clarify, I'm not even saying that she has to come out. I mean, like, out with, public engagements and shake hands and all that. I'm not even saying she has to do that. What I'm saying is from a PR point of view, from a point of view of somebody who supports their union, supports what they've done so far. Never really had an issue with how the Catherine conducts herself. I never had an issue with any of that. I think she's done a great job so far. So to me, I think it should just be more transparent. And, there's even been people that are in the medical field that have now come forward and said, by the way, it doesn't take this long to recover. I've seen a lot of that. I've actually seen a lot of medical professionals coming forward and saying, by the way, this kind of surgery does not take that long to recover. Now, of course, her body is very small. She's very underweight. She's very stressed out. It may take longer, you know what I'm saying? But on average, they're saying it doesn't take 2+ months. Now, is everybody different? Is everybody a case by case basis? I think so. But the reality is they said 2 weeks. And that's up. That's been up. So what I'm saying is it's not adding up. So let me go ahead now and show you guys a video that I sadly had to come across. I was going around on Twitter, and the way the lady spoke, it seems to me like she's alluding. She could be alluding that there was some kind of resemblance or something like what happened with Diana happened with Catherine, and that kind of spooked me. And that's what we're gonna that's what kind of sparked me to make this video to say, what do you guys think? Have you seen this video? I've just seen it this morning. So let me go ahead and link that. Let me go ahead and share screen. Let me split the screen. Block your screen. We'll check the address. Okay, let me see. Will it let me? Let's see, guys. StreamYard Studio or entire screen. Let me see if I can share this video. Let's see. May have to go into my other browser. I'm going to show you guys this video. 1 second. Because this browser, I think, is saying that it's blocked by this browser. But I'm going to open it back up and see if I can. Okay, it's kind of repeating. Can I hear myself? Okay, 1 sec. Okay, I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm back, guys. Okay, well, let me just try to see how I can put this on the screen because it seems like it doesn't want me to, but I'm gonna try to project this. 1 sec. Present. How do I unblock that? Temporarily allowed. Huh. I'm actually going to go back to Google because on Google I've done that before. Or you know what, guys? I could play it in the background. Let's see if it works in the background. I could play it in the background. How about that? Let's try it.
Back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like this, I think that he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like this, I think that he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like this, I think that he goes back to his own mother. So in that audio, and as I try to get the video up, because I think it's with the browser, I'm not logged in with that Twitter, so it's not really letting me. But that's basically the 33-second clip audio that I just played for you guys a couple times over on loop, and I'll link it in the description box so you guys can see it yourself on Twitter. But that's basically what she was alluding to. She basically kept saying that, when he was young, he had to deal with, Diana screaming and kicking, which I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know it was that traumatic that she was crying and screaming, and he had to witness all that as well. And then she basically said, but now he's mature. And so with Catherine, how will he handle it? And so a lot of people in the comments were basically saying, well, it sounds like she's saying that Catherine also had some kind of breakdown, and that now that William has gone through it once with Diana, now the second time with Catherine, he can deal with it. That's basically what it sounds like to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's basically what it sounded like to me. So I'm just very, very concerned, that this is something that, we have not been told, and there could be something more to it. Okay, so I'm actually going to try with the other browser. I'm going to see if I can put the video up for a couple seconds. If not, I just have the audio, but then I'll link the video in the description box. Okay, 1 second. Can you guys hear me? Let's see if it works.
Let's put
he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like that, I think he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like that, I think he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when she locked herself in to help her. And I think he took that responsibility on when he was only 15 and didn't quite know what to do. But here he's a mature man, and he will know that his priority is to look after his wife. But for something like that, I think he goes back to his own mother when he became what she called the man of the house, and he had to deal with her mental illnesses and crying and screaming, and he'd put tissues under the bathroom door when.
okay. So basically, guys, that is one of the videos. There's many other videos, but that is one of the videos that I wanted to show you guys that kind of springboarded this discussion. And a lot of people, I mean, I could really say millions, but a lot of people really think that there is something else besides, and people, I mean, some of you guys that agree are going to say, well, obviously, but there's obviously been a lot of you guys that, and I'll still have it linked for you guys, but a lot of people still think that you know, it's not just the so-called abdominal surgery. It's actually something else, you know, which is very sad. Um, but we don't know, guys, you know, we don't. Like I've said before, I think that since Diana's situation, one sec. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I just want to switch the browser. So yeah, so I just think with Diana's situation, you know, I it's like, you know, it kind of unraveled so fast before she perished, and there was a lot of, you know, speculation about eating disorders, and with Catherine as well. You know, I think that people that just say she's athletic and all this, I think is hogwash. You know, I've brought to the attention that I think she's been too thin and too frail for far too long. And, you know, just like, you know, overeating is a sign of stress, so is undereating, so is undernourishment, and she's not nourished properly. And so I don't, you know, sadly, it seems like it's not just this so-called abdominal surgery. You know, it does seem like it could be a couple other things, if not one other thing, that it is kind of springboarding this disease, this illness. So I don't know, you know, obviously the best person to talk is who? The Princess Catherine, you know, Kate Middleton, aka Kate Middleton, is what she was formerly known as before she became a princess and got married. And you know, from Duchess to Princess, right? The best person to speak, the best person I would know is Catherine. It's not rocket science, you know what I'm saying? But the convoluted difficulty that I think the media can't really dissect, or not even the royal family can dissect, or even Catherine herself can conceptualizes the fact that she's trapped in her own making. She's trapped in something that, because she's married to William, she really can't escape. It's like she can't, if someone calls you a racist, you obviously want to come out from Jump Street and say that's not true. But because with the protocol and the way that they handle media with the from the royal courts, royal press box, they're not really known to respond to stuff like that. And so I'm just saying from the outside looking in, I'm not saying it's a fact, I'm just saying from the outside looking in, that definitely damaged her. Not just reputation for some people who already didn't like her, but I think it damaged her mental health, because if somebody's accusing you of something that you didn't do, you want to be able to come out and say, I'm not what this person's saying, especially if it's your sister-in-law and your brother-in-law. You want to be able to come out and say, that's not my character. Someone has assassinated my character, or has misrepresented what I've said or what I've done, and I want to defend myself. My hands are clean, I have no blood on my hands. That's what any sensible person would do, even me. God forbid I was born into that kind of life, and somebody's, tails are wagging, so to speak, mouth is, gums are yapping away, and they're telling a bunch of lies. Guess what? I want to defend myself. I don't care what they expect from me. If someone's lying on me, I'm going to come forth outright and say, listen, that is a bold-faced lie. I am not what this person says. But I'm not going to go all over like late night shows like Harry and Meghan do. But as a royal, right, you're going to go to your royal courts, your own press box, your own press team, your own PR, and say, listen, I want to speak out. But I think that with the way and the high ranking in which William and Catherine are set up in, I don't even know if they're allowed to do that. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't even think that Catherine is allowed to say, I'm not a racist. And so with her not even being able to say, I'm not a racist, would that not trigger her? Anybody with common sense, would that not make her depressed and make her very, very angry if people are just making money off of her and she can't even make money off herself? She can't even defend herself. So that within itself is a screw, and is a mechanism, is a system that is so toxic, because if she can't even speak out for herself, then who's going to do it? Nobody. So these so-called friends and royal insiders, if they're really saying that somehow, some way she's told people, the princess I'm talking about now, Princess Catherine, if somehow, some way she's actually said to her friends, and they've gone whoever with her blessing and said, listen, she's stressed the hell out. See, before they weren't saying that. Before they weren't saying she's stressed out. Before they just said she had a planned surgery. Now, all of a sudden, she's stressed out. You see. So that's why I'm saying. It went from just a planned surgery to now this issue, that issue. She wants this, she wants that. Regardless of speculation, I think with common sense, I think 80% of people, I'm going to say legit, at least 80% of people, a confident 80% would think that it's not just a surgery. And that maybe, like I said before, it's been a crescendo. It's been a building up, a slow, sad, building up of stress, of stress. And even when Harry and Meghan stepped down, and remember when Meghan wore that bright green dress that was like her last, I guess, like appearance in England, like one of her last. And then in the Netflix documentary, they had all those black and white photos of them leaving, Westminster Abbey. I did a reading then of, the royal family's feelings. I'll also link that for you guys if you didn't see that. But that was a way back then video. Well, not that way back, but to me, it's like way back in my head, because I've done it like at least months ago. For me, for you guys, it's fresh. But for me, it's like kind of old. And I'll link that video. I'll link that video on the screen as well, and I'll put the royal playlist link in the description box if you guys are new and don't know. And so basically, even from then, when I covered Catherine's feelings in specific, I was saying to you guys that she's very stressed out, and she's very concerned over Harry, and she's very sad over their falling out. So now, seeing more reports that, okay, now her friends are coming forward and saying this rift this breakdown of not just friendship, but a family bond has been torn apart and ripped to shreds between her, Harry, and Meghan has impacted her. And we can't forget, Pippa Middleton's ex-boyfriend, which, Thomas's sudden death, the Queen's death, Prince Philip's death, the Queen's husband of how many years served, beside the Queen's side, Queen Elizabeth's side. All these problems, all these deaths, all these tragedies. So I'm sure that's all impacting her. And so if that's all impacting her, guess what? Once again, she should be able to say that. And so what I'm saying, if there's a built-in mechanism within the firm, within the royal family that disembarks and disables her to not be able to do that, well, that's going to trigger it even more. That's going to make her spiral even more. If she is, dying literally to say her side of the story, but because of the nature of the situation, she can't, well, then that's going to trigger her even more. Because if she in her heart knows that what is being put out here in the press between the Prince, William, rumors with Rose and all the affair garbage, and then Harry and Meghan, I can only imagine how much she wants to say and how stressed out she is. And if she can't even say, please, this is not true, I love them, because, they're not celebrities, they're celebrities, but not in that celebrity way, especially William and Catherine. They're not supposed to be like Harry and Meghan. They're supposed to be royals and the next up in line as king and queen. So it's a very, very dangerous rope. And I think that if they go to Hollywood and if they do things like Meghan and Harry do, I don't really know how it would be received. I think that it's a very, very weird, wobbly line between putting out, official statements versus putting out Instagram slides or Instagram reels or putting out a short video. I mean, or even a YouTube video, because, Catherine and William have a YouTube channel. So where does the line stop? Where does the line cross? Where does the line even begin? It's like, how do you navigate this? And so, if something is stressing her out and her family and friends have said that she's been stressed out, well, what is she so then what is she stressed about? That's going to lead another question, another hole, another gaping hole. It's like, well, what is she stressed about? Is it the falling out with her brother-in-law and her sister-in-law? Or is it marital issues? Is it an illness and marital? I mean, like, what is it? And so, because we don't know, I think at this point, especially with the Photoshop picture, I think it's gotten to a point personally where something major has to be said and done today, because she's also missed out the St. Patrick's parade. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, she didn't say she can come back in March. Well, my thing is this: she's always there, what I'm saying? And so if we can't even get a glimpse of, or even a relayed message from William, like, Catherine says hello, if it's just going to be the stern, cold face and, duty, and then your wife is over here suffering, we want to know, well, what's actually going on. And you know what? I'll say this to close. If they are having marital issues, with the nature of what's going on right now, and the physical allegations against William putting his hands on her, which I've heard as well. There's been a lot of really, really dark stuff going on. People saying how they could have had a fight, an altercation. With people talking like that, I just think they need to just come out and be like, be honest. If you're having marital issues, say that. All couples, especially married couples, they all go through something, right? And it actually could boost their profile. They could say, hey, we've gone through some challenges, but we're stronger together now. We're better now. We had a rough patch, but we're better now. And which is something I could never, I don't think would ever really be a high likely. But I'm just saying, if they want to kind of polish this over and have us kind of forget about this, if that is one of the issues, one of the many issues, I think it's better if they can come forward together, united, and say, yes, she had this health issue, but yes, we also have marital issues, but yes, or she's stressed out with the demands of the job and she can't do it right now, or yes, she wants to spend time with her kids, just whatever the heck it is. But I just think that the abdominal, point blank period, that the abdominal surgery excuse is not going to cut it anymore. And I think that, including myself, people that, when I saw the photograph, the Photoshop photo, I was saying that, were they hacked? I'm not being funny. I was one of the people that were saying, are they hacked or something? Did somebody hack their account? Because what is going on? And people like me that were kind of, that, stood back for a long time to kind of see the dust settle, now kind of like, dusted that crap off the photo and kind of, cleaned their eyes out and stood up and said, whoa, this is odd. Now it's not just that, but now it's a fake photo that wasn't properly vetted, and you're blaming the ill princess, and you're saying that it's Catherine. You're saying it's Catherine who photoshopped it. I mean, so it don't make sense. And it's like, why would you let that go out to the press like that? Why would you ever post that? Like, we're not stupid. We're not naive. Like, we have technology. We all have a smartphone. Like, we know what Photoshop is. So I don't get that either. And so it's like, who's really watching? Who's really taking care of the kids? What's going on? So yeah, guys. So basically, let me see if Prince William is at the parade or not. Let me see before I get off here. Let's see if there's any update. So yeah, I just think honesty is the best policy. I think at this point, for at least 80% of people, if we're being honest, the abdominal surgery, I don't think it's cutting it. I don't think it's cutting it. Kate and William are shaken and devastated at speculation about their marriage and intend to release a new photo to mark Prince Louis' birthday next month. Well, if they're so shaken up, I think they should release a statement if that's really the case. I mean, I know that there is a lot of lines that can't be crossed. I get that, but I just think that the fact that people are so concerned about her, but they're even saying that she's getting a divorce, I mean, that's pretty bad, don't you think? To go from a simple planned surgery to the whole freaking house on fire and them, having marital issues. I mean, clearly, if not alone, William and Catherine should realize that nobody's buying it and that this is damage control time. This is damage control time. So put out your best foot forward, but tell the truth, tell the truth. If something went wrong, or I don't know, but I just feel like if I was in their shoes, it wouldn't cut it. If I was in any way in any of their shoes or in connection, like up close, it would not cut it. I would have to get that lady to speak, you know what I'm saying, and be like, people are concerned. Do you want to say thank you? Do you want to acknowledge? Because I mean, you are a princess, man, and people around the world love you, Catherine. So hey, I prayed for you in the last video. My family's been praying for y'all. Do I think it's marital issues? I don't really think that. I don't personally think that, but a lot of people do. And so I'm not gonna outrule it. I'm not gonna say it's not possible. It is possible that they have marital issues, but that's between them and them two. But if it's now something that people are just assuming is one of the problems, well then if that's not the case, you're gonna have to nip it in the butt. You have to come out and say, listen, we're fine, because if not, people are gonna assume that there is a breakdown of not just one issue, but the maybe the whole union.